to Mainland 98.3 FM.
The Nigerian creative culture sector comes on radio. It's not a fringe approach, but a masterclass reportage on movies, fashion, heritage, and contemporary music, dance, comedy, festivals, cultural orientation, and travel. Every Thursday, 10:10 a.m. with Frank Meke and Tᴡɪᴛᴛᴇʀ Mᴜɪᴛ on Mainland 98.3 FM. Sponsored by Anchor Insurance, where insurance truly works.
A very beautiful morning to us on this wonderful, wet, rainy Thursday morning in the city of Lagos. If you're in Lagos, I'm sure that you have enjoyed your sleep a little more than usual because, God ensured that we had a cool weather to have that sleep. I can assure you, I got up with a little bit of difficulty this morning. I didn't want to get up. I just wanted to dive under the duvet and continue my beauty sleep. But we have to work. We have to be here with you. The whole Creative Naija crew is here. So I want to wish you a happy Salah, of course, to all of our Muslim faithful that are listening to us, that are part of our family even. We have, both Christians and Muslims as part of this great family. So I want to say wonderful, warm welcome to another episode of the show. My name is Tᴡɪᴛᴛᴇʀ, and here you are listening to us on Mainland 98.3 FM. Of course, I'm never in the studio by myself. I'm here this morning with Frank Meke. Good morning to you, Frank.
Good morning. I think this is another beautiful day.
Yes.
I like the rains.
Yes.
Like you, of course, I'm not a sleeper. Let me put it that way. Okay, I don't enjoy too much of sleep. So as early as 4, I just went to the kitchen. You know what I did? Boiled hot water and get my lemon.
A good cup of tea.
I didn't take my lemon. It has a way of putting you, strong for the day.
Yes.
And of course, at the point, even this morning, I was sweating. Even though it was cold, and all those things. So those are things we do in times like this. And of course, don't forget the pepper soup.
Yes,
particularly the one done with ripe plantain. And 괤ᴏ and all those things. Get turmeric, ginger, and all those things. Well, blend it together. You have a nice day. And of course, you pray that the rain comes every other day.
Yeah. But we're in for a great show this morning.
Yeah, sure. That's
a great one.
Yes,
a great one.
Yeah.
We're not alone in we will not be alone in the studio, even though, of course, we're still expecting. But most definitely be here. Stay with us from start to finish because there's so much in store for you. Regular bits will be up for your listening pleasure this morning, most definitely. So let's start and kick this off right away. The Nigerian Civil Aviation Authority, NCAA, railing under a debt profile of about 12 billion naira owed by airline operators in Nigeria, flagged a no payment, no service notification, suspended same for stark, troubling operational ecosystem in the sector. However, the Airline Operators of Nigeria, AON, claimed that no such debt exists in its records, but would want governments to suspend service charges so that the airlines can breathe. While this is raging, the cost of cooking gas may force many families back to the caveman era, worsening the climate change and loss of biodiversity issues. Bayelsa State has joined the League of States parading their own airlines, and Governor Diri is named the pioneer. On our Villa Square this morning, we bring you none other but one outstanding Director General in the Ministry of Culture, Tourism and Creative Arts, who has consistently distinguished himself. Dr. Shaibu Hussaini is the headman of Nigerian Film and Video Censors Board, NFVCB, who recently bagged an advocacy recognition award from Africa region of World Health Organization WHO for enforcement of no smoking and other ill lifestyle habits out of Nigerian films, skits, and video works. And indeed, it's my singular honor to let you know that he's in the studio. You will soon hear from him. Indeed, the 31st of May has been set aside as World Say No to Tobacco Day. Dr. Shaibu Hussaini will be discussing this with us on the show and other ethical milestones in the Nigerian movie industry on this bit. And on that note, can I just make welcome to the studio, drum roll, Ritani.
Yes,
I saw your post on social media yesterday.
Yes.
I mean, he said he's coming home, and truly he's back home.
Yes,
There's just something about
It's nice to be here. Although we'll not be saying welcome to movies or radio.
You passed that baton on.
Yeah, we did that. But it's so nice to be here. And then when I saw the poster, I just say, hey, these people have put me in the square. In the square, it's nice to be here.
It's good to have you, sir.
Happy holidays to all our
yes,
listeners.
Indeed.
And it's nice to be here. Really.
It's good to see you too.
My pleasure.
I see you're not alone. Yes. Good morning to you, ma'am. Can we?
Well, you can introduce yourself.
My name is Tᴏɪᴜ Thompson. I'm Dr. Shaibu's PA.
Okay. It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
Anyone that comes here becomes one of us. So you have become one of us already.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Nice to have you in the studio. Okay. So other things coming up today, as you've heard Dr. Shaibu's voice. I mean, December people are just special people. I mean, let's not talk too much about that. Regular beats will be on offer today. We do want to let you know that Anchor Insurance can't be up today because sometimes they want to use the holidays for certain things, so that's why we're not having that today. However, of course, next week they'll be right back here because there's no holiday next week. And Tayo Olayemi should be filling the gap on the Nigerian business experience inside Lagos with Bukola Omotesho. Will tell us where to go have fun during this whole Salas festival. Our new segment, supported by Heck Travels Limited, is part of the deal. And not forgetting our music segment, which celebrates the best of our indigenous artists. Osita Osadebe, Aye Mama is the iconic track to listen to this morning and to dance to today. We're going to be dedicating it most definitely to our special guest in the house. So happy celebrations to everyone out there, Nigeria, and welcome to Creative Nigeria.
Do you know how people wait for years trying to get admission to study a course at a university when they can just acquire life-changing skills in 6 to 9 months? What if I told you that there's an opportunity to change that? Be your own boss and still get that degree. The National Institute for Hospitality and Tourism Lagos campus is offering young school leavers, degree holders, entrepreneurs, and tour guides the opportunity to be your own boss after graduation with highly subsidized tuition fees. Our skilled acquisition and professionalized courses include postgraduate diploma in hospitality and tourism management, cookery and pastry practice, IATA Foundation diploma, professional certificate in tour operations, certificate in hotel and catering management, resort operations, tailor-made short-term courses, in-house training for organizations and establishments, and so much more. For inquiries, call 0803 351 9526 or 0708 720 5537. Log on to www.nihotour.gov.ng.
Welcome back and thank you so much for staying tuned. It's still Creative Nigeria here on Mainland 98.3 FM, and we're about to dive straight into our Villa Square segment for today. So we just introduced to us Dr. Shaibu Hussaini, the head honcho, there at the NFVCB, doing us all proud, doing Nigeria proud. I mean, the AMVCAs, the just concluded AMVCAs saw your work actually, on center stage. I mean, we are the best in Africa. I must say that, not being over, blowing our trumpets too much, but we should blow it. Okay, so we're blowing. We are blowing. Now, it's been a while, sir.
Yeah.
What's been going on really in the movie world, and any impact of that, on the economy from the films and videos sector?
Yeah, well, you know that if there's one sector that contributes significantly to the GDP of this country, then that sector will be the creative industry.
Yeah.
And then, of course, film. We used to supply data to the MBS. And each time they ask for this data, we discover that so many people will have been employed between the time we gave the last data and presently. Because for every average film, there are, even if it is a short film, there are about 20, 30 people who are on that set. And that's job for them at that point and the rest. Then beyond that, most of the films that go to cinema and the rest, they pay taxes, entertainment taxes, and so on.
True.
So there's so much that the industry has contributed, to our economy. It's one economic driver. So, and there's so much that we need to do to even raise the numbers. Provide the right infrastructure, provide the right policies, and good enough. We have a minister who is listening to us. I mean, it may be on our own sector, she listens to us a lot when we go to her. Like when I went to her about the need for us to expand distribution by setting up community community cinemas.
Okay.
And how we can encourage people is to give them certain waivers, licensing waivers and all that. She gave the approval. Ordinarily, she would say, no. But she gave the approval because we need to help them to expand. For me, what government needs to do is just to set up the infrastructure, give the right policies, give incentives. Government doesn't have to give you money to make film. Even while I was a journalist, while I was writing for Film and Culture, before I got into the beat, I've just been a strong advocate for setting the right environment for work to continue than giving people money to make films and the rest. You can raise money to make your film, but after making the film, where is the distribution infrastructure to sell the film? So we must be more concerned about those policies, those structures, than those handouts.
I like that. And, just a few weeks ago, just before I get into that, I just want to say well done.
Thank you.
Because I think you hit the nail on the head. Most people live in the now. They don't look into the future.
Exactly.
But what you've done is to be able to make that particular sector to look into the future.
Exactly.
And that's a good thing. Now, a few weeks ago, a special World Health Organization award singled you out for great advocacy job that you're doing at the NFVCB. I mean, tell us a little bit about it and, how you felt.
Okay, when I assumed the office in 2024, I got I got information that we were working on a regulation with a CAPA. CAPA is a non-governmental organization. And so I now asked, what's the problem with the regulation? They said, the willpower to move the regulation. And I discovered that Nigeria had passed the tobacco policy in 2014, and then there was a review much later. Every sector has done theirs, like the aviation sector, they have handled theirs. The other sectors, even advertising, they have handled theirs. But we in the film industry, and because they are closing up on them, these tobacco companies and the rest in these sectors, they are now passing through film, to promote and to glamorize it. So
Wow.
when we saw it, and I said, no, this is given. Because even in Hollywood, they are beginning to, work against the effect of smoking.
Yeah.
We have lost some actresses. They are not smokers, but because they are always involved in scenes where they smoke, they have had to be, they had to pass on because of cancer and all that.
Yeah.
So we now said, no, look, we must get into this and then ensure that people do not promote, people do not glamorize smoking, because our young ones out there will pick it up as a habit. If you are doing a film for educational purpose, and this is not to say, because I remember that time I came here and then they were saying, oh, I banned this, I banned, I don't have any power to ban anything. I said, no, it was not banned. What we are more interested in, don't promote it. If you are doing it for educational purpose, if you are doing it to correct a behavior, if you are doing it for historical accuracy, you can be playing an actor who
That
smokes.
was, his habit.
You can't stop it. If you are doing it for that, it's fine.
Yeah.
But you must place a warning about the dangers of it
Exactly.
in front of them. There must be disclaimer that you are not
Promoting
it, and then the actors there are not even promoting it and all that. You must do this. And once we met with the stakeholders, and then we got the regulation out, we got the approval of the minister, and then we got to justice, and it was gazetted as a law.
Wonderful.
So what we just did was to engage with the filmmakers and say, look, this is what we are talking about. We are not banning. We cannot ban. I mean, there are scenes that require
Exactly.
that.
Yeah.
But even in Hollywood now, you hardly will see. Sometimes when you see them smoke in the film, you will see a dialogue like, are you still on this? And then the person will say, oh no, I'm trying to get out of it. And then just a dialogue in it, just to discourage you to say, no, what you're doing is not right. So when we did that, a lot of people were saying, oh, this man, because my names are heavy Islamic names, Shaibu Hussein, they say, I've gone with Sharia. But there was nothing Sharia
at all.
It was just to us to have a healthy screen, and all that. And I must thank all our partners, Kappa, there's Tobacco Free Kids and all that, who joined us, who ensured that we had one important and more stakeholders conference. Because like I told Mr. Frank, that if you want to drive a policy in this our sector, you have to engage the stakeholders.
Absolutely.
If you don't engage them and you just think that you'll be handing them down. So we had series of stakeholders. In fact, there was a popular director who told me that, or who told us at the stakeholders meeting, that if he had known that tobacco is this dangerous, he would have devised other means of making his actors look like they are tough or whatever. He won't give them tobacco. He will give them something else as props, So that's how we came about the policy, and we have been talking about it and the rest. And then it got to the attention of WHO, and I just sat in the office and I got the commendation.
Amazing.
When it's 31st of May now, they will make the formal presentation to us and all that, and then we take it off from there. But it's something we need to do. I'm happy
agree.
that we are the first in Africa that has done it, and I think we are the third in the world as an industry that have done it after India.
Wow, that's wonderful. Wonderful. And I think after India, definitely, we are also one of the largest
India
movie
has
producers.
implemented this a long time ago, and if you check their films, you hardly see anybody puffing cigarettes or
True
something.
that. That's very commendable, and I would just want to say congratulations on that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Now, my next question here. Now, films and video, they are works that that are telling stories about us as a people. It used to be juju scenes, if you remember, in the old days. But lately, some other strange things are being added to entertain. And I put that in quotes, and break box office records without taking into cognizance the negative impact on young people and even young adults. Is this campaign of using films to tell a true story sustainable, or what's your take on it?
Okay, every time they argue, they tell you that film is reality that you have to you are just showing exactly what is happening in society. But our own position is that, look, yes, you can tell what's happening in society, but it's those artistic choices that you make that are very important, especially that young people watch this.
Yeah.
They look at these things and then they copy it. So that's why we kept insisting that, look, make your films, but bring it to us so that we can properly rate them. When we rate them, like when I came in, I said, we're doing more of classification. Let's classify it so that we know the audiences that can watch these films.
Tailored to. Yeah.
Look, even before I became ED, if I sit down at home and I'm watching a film, and my child that is not that age is watching with me, I'll caution the child. And I'll tell the child that this content is not for you to watch and so on. So how will we handle this issue of putting in certain things that are not to be seen, is for them to agree to bring their films so that we can rate them.
Okay.
Once they are rated, then you as a parent, you will know. I mean, there's a Michael Jackson film that just came out there now. We gave it a general viewing because there's nothing there, and then it inspires young people.
To greatness.
I went to watch it with my 8-year, and then she came out of the cinema and she was analyzing the film, and she said, "Daddy, this film has not ended." I said, "How?" He said, Michael Jackson had a concert even up to the 90s, but this one was 84. I say, hey.
Oh, an 8-year-old?
Yes.
Wow.
And now my wish was that, hey, I wish he was talking about Osadebe or Sunny Ade, like this and the rest. And that tells you that beyond just the text, beyond just the music and the rest, there's so much text that has been pushed on the internet about this personality that they are reading. So maybe we need to begin to think about how to push our own. King Sunny Ade, for instance, and the rest. Let her tell me that King Sunny Ade won awards, before. Let her ask me, when are they going to do a biopic of King Sunny Ade and so on and all that. So we encourage them to bring it for rating. And once it is rated, different kinds of audiences can watch it, no matter what you put in that film. You have the one for 12, you have the one for 15, you have the one for 18
and above,
you have the one for general viewing and all that.
Well, I mean, it's the same word I'm going to say again, amazing. Because I'm just so impressed. Now, movie sites, locations and villages the world over have over time attracted tourists.
Yes, sir.
Who want to know where the destination that this particular movie was shot and all of that. Can the same be replicated here in Nigeria in our own climes? So that I'm asking because we were in Namibia recently and the school kids were asking us if we know Banana Island and the late Mr. Ibu. So there's so many exportable things that we have and what we can actually make into tourist sites here.
Actually, our locations are supposed to serve as tourist sites.
Yeah.
When you go to South Africa, there's the site where there's the location where they shot Chaka de Zulu. It's still there. You go there and they even have dancers who come and do some bits of stuff for you. Just to make sure that you are not just seeing the architecture, but you are also seeing
experiencing it live
and the rest. And they use that to make so much money for themselves. Here, we have to be deliberate about it. When you do a set, you don't strike it off. You allow the set, especially if it's a very important production. Like when they shot Things Fall Up, and when they shot half of a Yellow Sun. I wish it was
they kept
a
it.
set where they built. Most of it was shot at Tinapa.
I
wish it was a set that they built. Then they could have left those sets, and then you could always make reference to. A lot of our people, a lot of our practitioners are setting up film villages and all that. Although, the idea of film village is not to build only huts and all that. It's to build things that people can use. You can replicate 42nd Street.
Indeed.
There. You can replicate a street in Bollywood.
Exactly.
You can replicate even towers that you find everywhere in the world. People can say, okay, we shot this here. You can have the establishment, but you come there and shoot the streets and the rest. So we need to be deliberate about it. So all these film villages that we have, like where they shot Anikolakpo, for instance, we could develop it more and have some modern structures so that when people come and say, where did they shoot Anikulapo?
Just take them there. And it will be monetized.
In fact, the beautiful thing about that set is that when you go there, you are not in a hurry to go away because there is a place for you to rest. You know, there is a place for you to hike.
Yeah.
Because he did some hiking scenes in the film. So
Yes.
somebody want to say, where did Saru, where did he climb? You say, oh, this hill and the rest. So we need to be deliberate about it and make it part of a tourism product, you know. So we really need to be deliberate. If we do an important film, I mean, I hear they're going to do a film like Things Fall Apart.
Yeah.
If it's it should be shot in Nigeria. I
Sure,
believe.
sure.
If it's going to be shot in Nigeria, it should be done in a place where you, after they finish, they keep it.
Yeah.
So anybody from any part of the world, you come and say, I want to go and see where Things Fall Apart was shot, and they come there and they see the sets and all that. It will add to the revenue of that location.
Exactly.
And of course,
and even the movie.
And the movie itself, you know, and all that. So we must begin to think about how we can align, you know, tourism with the film industry.
Absolutely. I hope our directors are listening. I hope all the, you know, movie set, architects are listening. I hope they're listening. And one last question before we take a break from you, because we'll still come back. Assuming we get it right on this score, can we put financial estimates to it? That's one. Could it also be another money spinner for the industry and the country at large, considering our reach in food, music, and fashion?
You want me to put money on, like to put say what we can generate as an industry? Hey, this is a multi-billion naira industry. I won't say trillion yet, because even the films that we are making, we just recently
started doing the billions.
And the rest. But it's a multi-billion dollar industry, and it has potential to even get even more
than that
once the right infrastructures are there. You know, once we have enough distribution.
Yeah.
In terms of movies, we make a lot of movies, but the challenge is how to sell those movies. Yes, you could hear that, we have YouTube and the rest, but how many people can actually get their works monetized there? We have cinemas. How many people can get their work properly monetized there? We need to begin to think about more alternative distribution platforms that will make people to make money. And once they make money, of course, it will count, and then we can begin to talk about $1 trillion or trillion
naira at least
economy.
Okay, I don't know if Frank has anything for you this morning before we
actually don't have more. You know, you've done all, but it's still not all.
Yeah.
Because talking to Dr. Sharp really makes you go. You know, but while you were saying that, you know, there's this book I wrote, 𝐴 Okay. You know, and it has to do with the partition of Boguland in 1897. And the one funny thing is that we replicated that. You know, we have to still, you know, do the same. The rise of the British from, you know, from the Niger Delta down to the border of Benin, because the French also were coming from, you know, that of Africa, you know, to the Bada Kingdom, which is one of the biggest. I'm going to give in the book. The foreword was written by late President Muhammadu Buhari. I'm going to hand it over to you, so we look for, if you know, maybe one of these
directors, can pick it up.
Because it's something we did, you know, even though we are not actors, but we kind of did that. But I tell you, what is coming out from his organization, something that, you know, inspires us here. Also something that we're happy and proud to be. So because of time, to come back to him, you know, I'll throw mine. You know, you know, my own is journalist to journalist.
Exactly.
So, sometimes, you know, Bumi, when you see your colleagues doing well, and I've all told people that I'm not saying, you know, but if you do research, one of the best people that actually are very patriotic and turn a nation around has always been the people from the press.
From the press,
and Dr. Sharp has done that, you know, where he is today. You know, in that ministry, of course, like I said, I met the minister, I say, you Frank Mickey. So, but the point is, you know, we hold everybody accountable. You know, and I can see here today, from what he has done, he has just shown that it's not just there to play, it's not going there to dance, but that is part of the whole thing.
Indeed.
And that's where I'm going to come. My question has to do with dance in music.
Okay.
And music and
dance.
And dance, in films.
I'm sure he's ready for you.
I am here.
All right. So far, so good. We need to take a break, just so he can breathe, take a breath, and get ready for the next session. But in the meantime, we'll just take a quick break, and when we're back, Brown Tamunawari is here with Travel Nuggets.
Hello beautiful people, how are you doing? It's another beautiful Thursday, and this week has been a very glorious week. I know the weather in Lagos, Australia, I don't know any other state, but the weather has been very cozy. Has been saying take hot tea and cover blankets. Anyways, good morning everyone in the studio. Happy WG괶 to you all. I hope you're enjoying the holidays. Okay, Wednesday was Children's Day. Happy Children's Day in arrears, and happy WG on today's episode of Travel Nuggets. We'll be talking about the recent happenings in the travel, in the travel corner. But then, let me pay homage to who homage is due. My very beautiful and wonderful Mrs. Bumi, good morning. How are you doing? I can see you're smiling and you're looking very sharp. And your melanin is pumping beyond imagination. Good morning, Mr. Frank Meke. One of the doyens of the tourism industry, and kudos to you. Well done, sire. Today's episode, we'll be talking about the ordeals we've had to hear in the travel corner, and it's been one thing or the other. And again, happy African Day to every African in arrears. Monday 25th was African Day, and this is me wishing you Africa, and this is me praying and projecting for an Africa that's filled with unity. But then, when we talk about an African that is filled with unity, Seychelles has said that it is visa free to every African. But then there's a but. There is a but. You need to file for an ETA. What's an ETA? It's an electronic travel authorization document. It is hassle free. It is not stress. But you need to file for an ETA. And then another African country came out of the blues and said, no more visa free again. And can you guess that country? I hope you just want chewing gum. That 20 naira on. If you guess it right, then it's Ghana. Ghana came on board and said, no visa free for African countries anymore again, but there is a but. If you are under the ECOWAS treaty, we talked about ECOWAS countries. If you've been following Travel Nuggets, we talked about ETA, we've talked about a lot of things that should, educate you. So if you don't know, you could, drive back to the first episode of Travel Nuggets. And, Ghana said only ECOWAS country will be visa free to Ghana. But then, even as an ECOWAS country coming to Ghana, you need to also file for an ETA. I don't know what's the moves about the ETA document or the ETA filing, but I'll make my research and know why there's a need for that, documentation. And last but not the least in our blog, let's talk about the newest deal. United States has been one of the things that have been shaking to the roots, and ever since our dearest president, the president of the United States, Donald J. Trump, has been on board, it's been one policy or the other. And so do not blame your visa consultant, concerning your US documentation of filing. Our brother and our uncle has not been easy on us. Alright, so this time around, I know, and a lot of blogs, misconstrued it. They tweaked it in a way that people do not understand, and that is why I want to talk about it and make you understand today. Okay, so Donald Trump said, if you want a green card, leave the US and file from anywhere. Like, file from your country. File for a green card from your country, and we'll give you. What a wonderful news for Nigerians. I don't know if Nigerians can give that a try. Okay, just imagine that you're a Nigerian in the United States. You need to travel back to Nigeria and file for a green card from your country. What a beautiful update. Okay, so before now, you can enter the United States with a visit visa and file for a green card in the United States. But now, Donald J. Trump, the president of the United States, says no, policy has changed. We will need you to file from your country. And so this is where we wrap it up on Travel Nuggets. Until next time, when we bring you wonderful, wonderful pieces to let you know and keep you updated on travels and the travel corners in innovation industry. Stay tuned and do not miss it on Creative Nigeria TV, Mainland 98.3 FM. Have a beautiful Thursday. Take care and bye.
Welcome back. Thank you to Brown. Of course, we will be issuing all the corrections on that policy, coming from the United States in due course. But you know that on this bit, it's an ongoing thing. So as information reaches us, that's how we send out our updates. So many thanks to Brown. We'll take a break, and up next is Nigeria Business Experience. Tai Olayemi has that for us. So stay tuned and listen.
At Anchor Insurance, we will always turn up for our clients when it really matters. We put in 100% because they mean the world to us. If you desire insurance services built around you, where claims are paid promptly, then come to Anchor Insurance.
You are the best. You are the very, very best. Oh, yeah. You make our world go round. And this is where we'll always be our end.
Anchor Insurance, where insurance truly works.
Good morning, listeners. This morning on the business segment, we are looking at the recapitalization plan for insurance industry of the journey has been. We all know the deadline given by NICOM, the National Insurance Commission, is July 30th, 2026, which is about 2 months away. And insurance companies are really on their toes to ensure that they meet up with the recapitalization plan. And so far, according to NICOM, we're told that 20 insurance companies have submitted their documents for verification. But recently, it's coming up again to notify the public that 15 insurance companies have been verified successfully. 9 are currently being verified, with some still very quiet, not saying anything as regards what they are doing yet. But NICOM has also promised that it's not going to fold its hands to watch insurance companies go down the drain. It's going to call the weak insurance companies to a roundtable and ensure that they either embrace an acquisition or a merger program. And I think that will be unfolded as in the course of the month. Looking into what the recapitalization plan is, for the life insurance, which was 2 billion naira before, has been raised to 10 billion naira. For non-life general insurance, from 3 billion, now 15 billion. Composite insurance from 5 billion to 25 billion, and reinsurance companies for 10 billion to 35 billion. So this is to strengthen their capital base and ensure that they can withstand shock. It's very important because of the coveted 1 trillion naira economy which the president is looking into. This is very, very important for the industry.
Nigeria inland waterways is not only huge and vast, it rumbles through state of the country, providing opportunities for movement of goods, services, and persons. It also helps put food on the table for Nigerians through agriculture and fishing, nursing a national laboratory for thousands of marine species unknown to science. Our cultural heritage and tradition are so deeply rooted through our inland waterways, showcasing virgin and unique cultural tourism economy. At Waterfront Boat Owners and Water Transport Association, WABOTAN, we cherish this gift of nature and enjoin all Nigerians, government at all levels, and our people to protect and preserve our inland waterways, inlets, rivers, and lagoons for generations yet unborn. When next to travel on our inland waterways, wear your life jacket and strictly obey all safety instructions. This message was brought to you by WH Waterfront Boat Owners and Water Transporters Association of Nigeria at number 19 Oyekon Road, Apapa, Lagos. Find us on Twitter at Wabotan Nigeria, on Facebook at Water Transport Nigeria, and on YouTube at Wabotan Media. Wabotan, your safety on our waters guaranteed.
Welcome back, and thank you so much for staying tuned to us here at Creative Nigeria, here on mainland 98.3 FM. Up next, first of all, I want to say thank you to Tayo Olayemi for the information about the insurance companies on that bit. But up next right now, you know that the holidays are upon us. You want to know where you can, spend some time today with your families, away from the rain. Where are those places that, you can actually have some shelter? Bukola Omotesho is on standby. Over to you, Bukola.
Good day, my wonderful listeners. This is your regular host, Omotesho Bukola, on Inside Lagos. This is the segment where I tell people about tourist destinations, attractions, lovely attractions, and fun places to visit in Lagos State, Nigeria. Today, I bring to you, my listeners, John Randu Center for Yoruba Culture and History. It is located at Onikan Roundabout, Lagos Island, Onikan, Lagos, Nigeria. The J. Randu Center for Yoruba Culture and History has exhibitions of Lagos and Yoruba culture. It features the early fashion attires and designs of the Yoruba people. Those design attires, even fabrics that they wear long our grandfather, our ancestors wore in those days. The way the king dresses, the way the slaves dresses, the way the queens dresses in those days are featured there. It is a contemporary heritage center for the preservation, celebration, and advancement of Yoruba culture and history. Not only that, it exhibits some of the things that are used in the olden days. A lot of things. Even when you get there, you can see the type of pig milk that were used in those days, the type of exercise books, lanterns, a lot of things like that were used in the olden days, so that our children know how things were in those days, and our children will know how to follow all those things. The center is named after John K. Randu. He's a physician. He was a physician that came from Sierra Leone, active in the politics of Lagos State in the colonial era in those days. The center is a tourist destination for people who are interested in culture, history, and heritage. I believe that everybody should be interested in the culture of his people. If you say you are not interested, there is no how you will not know, because you wear the culture, you speak the culture. That's the heritage of our people. And many people are sewing adire fabrics in suits now abroad. Even English people, they are sewing it like that. And then your history. Before, history was removed from the curriculum of primary and secondary school. But now, thank God, they have returned it. Because there is no how people will be without history. And very soon they will be lost. Our heritage should not, you cannot even say you want to lose it. Because that people without heritage are people without future. It was founded in 1928 by Lagos State government. And the product being sold at this center is cultural. It features as a venue for entertainment. There is also entertainment there. People use it as venue for entertainment. Then in 2024, it held the first edition of the International Festival of Arts, Creativity, Innovation, Afropolis Lagos Festival. They came from all over Africa to come and feature this particular international festival known as International Festival of Arts, Creativity, and Innovation, popularly known as Afropolis Lagos Festival. It was held between October 26th to November 6th of that particular year. So I'm telling you, if you want to visit tourist attraction in Lagos, don't go without visiting the J. Randu Center for Culture and History. Very important. Then if you want to now visit the center, please go very early so that you will not experience any traffic. and then you will be able to enjoy yourself. You'll not be in a hurry to go before you leave the place. You must also try, if you have it, you must also try and put on adire fabric, Ankara or Ashoki, as you are visiting a Yoruba culture center. One of the things about this particular center is the cleanliness of the environment. The environment is very clean. Apart from that, the entry is only 5,000 naira. This is how far we can go today. Thank you for tuning in and staying with us. It's your host, 𝐴ᴇ Tourism Untold. Till next time, stay blessed. Thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone, for staying tuned with us. I hope you enjoyed that. Everyone in Lagos knows where Onikon is, so you can find your way there. I think it's especially good for our younger ones to be able to, just replenish their knowledge of Yoruba history and Yoruba culture. But joining us via the phone lines right now, moving on the show, is Cornelius Ogunwa for our tech startup. Cornelius, good morning to you.
Hi, good morning, Bumi. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you doing too on this beautiful public holiday? I know you're not in, I'm sure you're in your office.
No, I am not. I'm not at the office actually. I was
very good.
At the studios today, but I had some automobile issues.
Oh,
sorry for that.
Sorry about that as well. So, well, because of time, we will not be able to take too much today. But just educate us today with what you have for us.
Okay, so we are going to start a series on Builders Toolkit, right? The idea is to understand what everybody that is basically trying to start a business should have as a toolkit before starting the business. First thing is, when you are building in Nigeria, it's going to be quite tough. It's very difficult, right? It's not like the best place to build a business when it comes to how tough it is. But then it is very rewarding to build in Nigeria. And this is because once you are able to solve a problem in Nigeria, you can easily replicate that problem or that solution anywhere in the world.
I agree.
Right? And that is how diverse we are as a nation. But the truth is, success doesn't come from vibe or because you have a good idea. It only works when you basically have the right information, the right essentials within your toolkit. So we are going to start talking about the essentials that you should have as a founder in your toolkit. The first one to talk about now would be problem clarity. When it comes to building a solution, I've mentioned quite so many times about knowing your problem, the problem you are solving. And when it comes to Nigeria, there are problems everywhere, but not every problem is a business. So we are going to just take two examples, and then we can now wrap it up from there. For the payment, the fintech industry, we know how it all came about. Many of us will basically experience failed transfers, delays on trust issues, and that is why the fintechs are thriving, because there is a problem, right? And the problem is a business, and that is why it is thriving. Basically, if we relate that to the logistics industries as well, you would basically relate to the problem you would encounter when you want to deliver something, right? Everybody experiences it. So it becomes relatable as a problem, and many people feel the same problem. And that is why it's easier to build a solution around that problem. So the question will now be, are you solving a real, frequent, painful problem for people? Or are you just building something that is cool? Because if you are building something that is cool, there is what we call vitamins and problems. If you are building a vitamin, you might just be happy that you are building something, but it will not scale. And the idea of building a business, first thing is you are considering scalability. So if your product is not tied to everyday struggle or pain that people experience, then it will be slow, or it might not even scale at all. So maybe when we come next course of time, we'll talk about other essentials. We have distribution thinking, we have cash flow discipline, we have talent, magnetism, and a few other essentials I would mention as we progress.
Wow. In such a short time, you have given us, the model, a business model that every business, starter can actually take and use as a toolkit. Thank you so much, Cornelius.
Thank you so much.
We appreciate you, and we can't wait to have you back in the studio.
Yeah, I would definitely be there next session.
All right. We got a promise, so Frank, we got a promise from Cornelius.
He ran away. You know why? You know that I will ask for. I always ask my question.
Yes. We will not ask him today.
We will not ask him today. So let's keep it on.
Thank you so much, Cornelius.
Thank you so much.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your day. Okay, so we'll take another break right away, and then we'll come back with our new segment, and then after that we'll wrap things up with Dr. Shaibu in the house.
Hey, Michael, you travel frequently and hardly complain of travel services. How do you come by?
I use the services of one of the best travel outfits in Nigeria, 𝐴𝐶 Travel Agency.
𝐴𝐶 Travel Agency?
Oh yes, 𝐴𝐶 Travel Agency takes care of travel plans, ticketing, insurance, visa, and provides pocket-friendly fares helpful in this new normal.
Really? What about holiday packages for families?
Trust 𝐴𝐶 Travel Agency on that too. On request, the agency provides both local and international tourism holiday packages with detailed country situation reports, car hire, and hotel reservations.
Where can I locate 𝐴𝐶 Travel Agency?
Very easy, my friend. 𝐴𝐶 Travel Agency is located in number 2 Ibro Avenue, Rainbow Estate, Trans Amadi, River State. Telephone 0907-893-5167. Lagos office, Parkview Estate, Ikoyi. Telephone 0806-24-63292. 𝐴𝐶 Travel Agency, always in touch.
All right, thank you so much for staying tuned. We are on the runway now, trying to put the plane to stop, but we don't do that without bringing you the news of the day. So here is our culture, technology, festivals, travels, hospitality, music, movies, brown water economy, and sports tourism, supported by 𝐴𝐶 Travels Limited, edited by Frank Meke. Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention has placed the country on first-degree alert over Ebola outbreak, despite not recording any threats by the contagious virus. NCDC, however, after detailed risk assessment, believes that Nigeria stands the risk of Ebola importation through border posts and other points of entry, including transportation hubs across the country. Recently, 3 Red Cross volunteers died after contacting the deadly virus. Meanwhile, the celebration of 2026 Africa Day took deeper meaning, reinforcing trade relations between Nigeria and Rwanda. Nigeria Ministry of Trade and Investment unveiled a strategic implementation of African Continental Free Trade Agreement through partnership with Rwanda Air to facilitate the growth of Nigeria East and Southern Africa air cargo corridor. The Kigali, Lusaka, and Harare windows gives Nigeria exporters a second choice option on the Johannesburg and Nairobi cargo routes. Nigeria's quest to join clean energy consumption nations may witness a very slow drive as prices of liquefied petroleum gas (LPG) sells for 1,500 naira per kilogram, with marketers carving out about 26.2 million naira for a 20 metric tons of cooking gas. The Association of Liquefied Petroleum Gas Marketers noted that the development may trigger off scarcity of the products, ending gains so far achieved by government on transition to clean energy. And finally, on our news this morning, the United Nations has warned that global pollution metrics, climate change, and environmental resources exploitation are egging nature to total annihilation, suggesting an urgent global strategy to reverse this trend. Antonio Guterres, United Nations Secretary General, in a message to mark 2026 Day for the celebration of biological diversity themed Acting Locally for Global Impact, described biodiversity as the living web that sustains humanity, however, warning that biodiversity is facing severe threats with consequences for sustainable development and livelihoods. Well, that's our news this morning. Thank you so much for listening and taking note of the key points that we have mentioned here. We don't really have enough time to discuss them. However, of course, I'm sure everybody knows about the LPG. It's biting hard. 1,500 naira for 1 kilogram of gas. I mean, of cooking gas. Well, hope we don't have to go back to the caveman era.
I think there's another lady here, I'm sure.
Yeah.
She will be worried about that, like all women. In fact, it is going to about 2,000 now.
Yeah.
And scary. So that means, like, Gutierrez said, if we're not careful, we're going back to the forest. And that will be really...
That's another environmental problem.
Because forest is not just about keeping woods and all this. It's also a place where we can actually, preserve water.
Yeah.
And of course agriculture, as the case may be. So it's a terrible. The world is actually at crossroads.
Yeah.
So we need to be very careful.
We're at a tipping point. If we're not careful.
So we need to really be careful. And I think government should pay more attention, to this area.
Absolutely. And because of time, I would have loved for Dr. Shaibu to react to one or two of these. The Ebola story, for example,
I mean, we need to begin to think of how to have safety nets, We need to check our borders, then we need to also be careful with those who come in from those areas. We need to do the checks. All these ones of trying to compromise, we don't have to do that because we know what we suffered. We lost a great physician.
Exactly. And we have a movie to show for it.
We even have a movie, Ebola, for it. So we must not compromise. We must tighten up all our borders to ensure that we don't have people coming in from that area. It's scary. I watch the news every day and I see people
and the numbers
being lower, and all that.
It's not a pleasant sight. Okay, so now we're going to, we're about to land this aircraft. Okay, so all things being equal, Doctor, what would you want to do, even, apart from all the things you've already done? What more would you like to do for the movie and film sector? That's one.
I want to build the... Okay, go ahead.
That's one. And then the final one is just a two-pronged question. Are the states collaborating with you at the, NFVCB?
Fantastic. I think that's one area where we need to spend the next 2 years that we still have on our first term to do. Between me and my brother Linuhu, we need to see how, and Linuhu, by the way, is the MD of the Nigerian Film Corporation. We need to see how we can get the sub-nationals, to cooperate with us. They shouldn't be competing with us. I mean, they should create the environment. For instance, if I have an investor who is ready to put up community cinemas in the states, we can go work to a state government, and government will give us maybe land or an existing property to convert so easily and the rest. So we need that. Then what do I intend to do? Look, I need to leave a very sound database for the National Film and Video Censors Board. Already I have been able to, through the help of God and of course my minister and the president, we've been able to get a permanent headquarters. We used to be in a rented apartment in the last 28 years, but now we have a permanent headquarters. So, but that permanent headquarters should not just be building for civil servants, and all that, but it should be a research center. We need to align the industry with the academia and the business environment. So we need to build a research center. I want to leave a research center. And we need to leave a standard database that people can access any information they want about the Nigerian film industry. All that. That's my plan. And then I need to make sure that we harness technology a lot in the work that we do. We shouldn't waste so much time trying to classify a movie with technology now, and all that. So there's so much I need to do, but one important thing is I want to leave a very strong database for the film industry through the vehicle of the National Film and Video Censors Board.
Wonderful. And I believe that it's achievable.
Very well.
I mean, the way you hit the ground running, and with all that has been achieved already, it is achievable. And we here at Creative Nigeria, we are backing you up.
Thank you.
Whatever announcements you need to make, you want to make noise about some things that are happening, that you're doing, we're here for you.
I know.
Most definitely.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It's really a pleasure to be here. We're supposed to be on our way to ꞌAbẹ́òkúta for the start of the ꞌAbẹ́òkúta International Film Festival. Yeah, but we said we must come here to pay respect. And
we are honored.
Of course, to be home.
Yes,
then
indeed.
Before we head to another home,
but
but we are heading to the start of the 𝐴bēokúta International Film Festival.
Okay.
And that's one thing again that we need to work with the subnationals on. We need to have as many festivals as possible.
Wonderful. Well, that's all we'll be able to take on the show today. I've been signaled that we have just 1 minute. In fact, we have less than a minute to go. But I want to thank you, Dr. Shaibu. Thank you, amiable PA, for coming on the show as well. And from Frank.
For me, I'm always here. Because I wanted to keep him, but he has to go to 𝐴bēokúta.
Yeah.
So let him go to 𝐴bēokúta. So
Okay.
we'll join him later.
Yeah.
And that is why it's good to always have this festival so people can move around.
Yeah.
You know, if you move around there, you learn a lot of things.
Yeah.
But I wanted to talk about dance, Bumi. So that music now,
Aye Mama.
he used to be director of dance. So
Yes.
I wanted him to shake out, and see
He
more
will.
dance on the
We will.
films. I wanted to see more dance in our films. More of those. Do you know how many parties they are holding in Lagos all over the country? It's more
Food for thought. But we leave you guys, our darling listeners, with the music of Osita Osadebe, Aye Mama. And we will see you same time next week. That's 10 a.m. here on Mainland 98.3 FM. Until then, goodbye and God bless.